The Israelites were slaves in Egypt, but that wasn't the end of their story. At the start of Exodus, Jacob's descendants have become countless in Egypt. The new Pharaoh worries about their growing numbers. He enslaves the Israelites, forcing them into hard labor, yet the people multiply. Exodus 1 shows suffering growing worse. Pharaoh commands that all newborn Hebrew boys be killed. But the midwives refuse to obey. Moses is born and hidden by his mother. She places Moses in a basket on the river. Pharaoh's daughter finds him. Exodus 2 begins Moses' story. Moses grows up in the palace, but he defends a Hebrew and kills an Egyptian. He flees into the desert, marries Zipporah in Midian, and works as a shepherd. Years pass by. Then, in Exodus 3, something unexpected happens. On Mount Horeb, God appears to Moses in a burning bush. He says, "I am the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob." God sends Moses to free Israel. Moses hesitates, but God promises he'll go with him. God reveals his name. "I am who I am. Ehyeh Asher Ehyeh." Moses receives miraculous signs to prove he's sent. God calls Aaron to help him. They go to Egypt together, determined to face Pharaoh and demand freedom for their people. Moses and Aaron say, "Let my people go." Pharaoh refuses and makes the work even harder. Egypt's gods are challenged by Israel's God. Then God begins sending 10 incredible plagues, each one striking Egypt harder and harder. The plagues escalate. Water turns to blood. Then frogs, gnats, flies, livestock dying, boils, hail, locusts, darkness, and finally the death of the firstborn. Only Israelite homes are spared. This is Exodus chapters 7 to 12. Before the last plague, God commands the Passover. Each family sacrifices a lamb, marks their doorframe with its blood. The angel of death passes over the Israelites' homes. Exodus 12 marks Israel's dramatic freedom. Pharaoh finally gives in. The Israelites leave in haste, carrying unleavened bread dough. God leads them by a pillar of cloud by day and fire at night. They journey through the desert, heading toward the Red Sea. Pharaoh changes his mind and pursues the Israelites with his war chariots. The sea is ahead, the army behind. Moses raises his staff. God opens a dry path through the waters. Exodus 14 tells of this miracle. The people cross safely. When the Egyptians chase after, the water returns and drowns Pharaoh's army. Israel celebrates and sings a new song, praising God's mighty acts. Finally, they are free to move forward. Now in the desert, the people face thirst and hunger. God provides water from a rock and bread from heaven called manna. The people must trust God daily. But complaints start up. Exodus 16:17 shows this journey. They face attacks like from the Amalekites. Moses raises his hands in prayer and Israel wins. Moses' father-in-law Jethro teaches about leadership and sharing responsibilities. They come to Sinai. Exodus 18:19. At Sinai, the people see thunder, clouds, and fire on the mountain. God speaks, giving the 10 Commandments. He establishes a covenant, a lasting agreement with his chosen people. Exodus 19:20. Beyond the 10 Commandments, God gives laws about justice, festivals, and worship. He explains how the people should live and worship. God promises, "Obey me, and you'll be my people." Exodus 21:24 expands his covenant. God asks for the tabernacle to be built, a portable sanctuary where he'll dwell among the people. He gives many detailed instructions for furnishings, priestly clothes, incense. That's Exodus 25:31. While Moses is on the mountain, the people make a golden calf and worship it. God is angry, but after Moses pleads, he offers forgiveness. Moses intercedes boldly, desiring God's presence. God renews the covenant. He writes the commandments a second time. Moses descends the mountain with a radiant face. The people are forgiven and begin again. Exodus 34 reminds us God's mercy never fails. At last, the people actually build the tabernacle just as God commanded. When it's done, a cloud settles over it and God's glory fills the whole place. Exodus ends with God living among his people. Exodus closes with a promise. God's presence is real. He guides his people with a cloud by day and fire at night. The journey of faith continues toward the promised land. The story isn't over. Follow the series to see how this story of freedom continues.